Welcome to another episode. Today we journey into a story from the Shiva Purana, the tale of Kalyana Durga, where even the great sage Narada learns a lesson in humility. The capital of the mighty kingdom of King Silanidhi presented a splendid sight, with its sky-kissing palaces and temples made of alabaster and marble. Nature was at its best and brightest. Men and women there were the most beautiful of the human species, and were looking like angels and archangels of the celestial realms. It is difficult to describe in mere words the splendor of the city of Kalyana Durga, which attracts even the hermits who renounce the world. Everywhere the thresholds are bedecked with multicolored festoons. All the streets are sprinkled with perfumed waters. Sage Narada could not make out the reason for this special decoration of an already lovely city. King Silanidhi, seeing Narada, went forward to greet him and received him with due honors. Seating the sage on a gem-studded throne, the king sent for his daughter Srimati. On entering the court, the princess bowed to the feet of the sage and was introduced to him by her father with these words: "This is my daughter Srimati. She has now come of age. Tomorrow I am arranging a swayamvara, wherein the suitors are assembled in the court, from among whom the girl chooses the one she likes best for her life mate, for her. You are a great seer who knows past, present, and future. Kindly read her palm and tell me what destiny has in store for her. I also request you to attend the swayamvara function tomorrow, and see to it that the wedding is celebrated in proper great style." Narada's mind was unaccountably perturbed. He appeared to be unable to withstand the onslaught of Cupid's arrows, which were imperceptibly emanating from the wonderful good looks of Srimati. He decided upon marrying her. Telling the king that his daughter was the equal of goddess Lakshmi and would get a husband equal to Vishnu, he went back to Vaikuntha and prayed Lord Vishnu thus: Sriya Sata Kumbha Duti Snigdakantya, Duranyacha Durvadala Syamalangya, Kalatra Dvaine Amuna Toshitaya, Triloki Grihasthaya Vishnu Namaste, Adi Sankara. I bow to you, Lord Vishnu, who are indeed the householder of the three worlds, but contented with the two consorts, the golden-hued goddess Lakshmi and the Durva leaf-colored dusky Bhudevi. Although Lord Vishnu realized the real purpose of Narada's visit, he greeted the sage formally as though he knew nothing about the state of his mind. Since there was no time to lose, the sage came directly to the prince and requested the Lord to grant him his form. For the duration of the Svayamvara, Vishnu acceded to his request, and Narada returned to Kalyana Durga and took his seat in the royal court, thinking that he was in the guise of Lord Vishnu. Srimati entered the court. Her maids handed the garland to her. The king addressed the gathering. "Esteemed kings, my daughter is going to choose her husband by garlanding one of you. Kindly conduct yourselves with decorum and dignity, and make this function a great success." With due grace and bashfulness, Srimati began slowly walking round the assembly of princes, unoffensively observing their mien. Accompanied by her maids, Srimati came near Narada. Finding him repulsive, she proceeded on her quest. Narada could not understand the reason behind her indifference. Actually, Lord Vishnu was also in the assembly, in the form of a prince. Srimati was a great devotee, bent upon making Lord Vishnu her sole life-mate. By virtue of her true devotion, she could detect the Lord Vishnu, who was disguised as a prince. Without wasting another moment, she instantaneously garlanded Lord Vishnu, who was in the prince's guise. Silanidhi was delighted with her choice and felt that his life was at last sanctified perfectly. Lord Vishnu, for his part, took away Srimati along with him and disappeared from the court. While the courtiers applauded the choice of the princess, the disappointed princes left the assembly hall with their heads bent in shame. Narada was crestfallen. He began to cogitate. Who was that stranger? Could it be Vishnu himself? If so, how could he make his own boon ineffective? What harm have I done him that he should shame me thus? If he has the right to enjoy the company of 3 wives, why should I be content with leading the life of a celibate? Should he thus deceive those who worship him? True, I did boast about my self-restraint, which I thought was so inviolable as to withstand the tricks of even Vishnu and Shiva. But should he not have overlooked my prattle as it became an elder like him? After all, did he not forgive the follies of many a devotee of his? Indeed, it was my fault to depend on such a god. Henceforth, I shall try to forget this Vishnu. Looking at this grieving sage, the bridesmaids laughed in derision. Turning round, he asked them what became of their friend, the princess. Telling him that she was taken away to Vaikuntha by Lord Vishnu, they brought a mirror and asked him to look at his image. To his amazement, he saw the face of a monkey attached to the trunk of Vishnu. Forgetting himself in his sore disappointment, he rushed up to Vaikuntha with an idea of cursing Vishnu. The maids wondered among themselves why a sage should thus be struck with wild passion and wilder wish for revenge, and went their way. When the angry sage came up to him, Vishnu kept quiet. But goddess Lakshmi was somewhat worried. Narada spoke out. Lord, under the impression that you were a truthful deity, I sought your assistance, but you behaved like a cad. Don't run away with the idea that your foul play will be left unpunished. Do you think that you have done the right thing in abducting the princess whom I loved so much? Was it just on your part to provide me with a monkey's visage and make me the laughingstock of the entire royal court? For the dishonor you have subjected me to, I am cursing you that come to grief on account of a woman, and that you then be helped out of your distress by the very monkey race when you bemoan your loss of your life mate in your human incarnation. Despite this imprecation, Lord Vishnu did not lose his equilibrium, but simply kept smiling. Seeing the quiet dignity of the Lord, Narada was contrite. He realized his folly. Immediately he began begging Vishnu's pardon. O Lord, how can I ever be absolved of the sin of cursing you? Cut my body into pieces with your Sudarsana disc, wheel weapon. That is the right punishment for my crime of abusing and imprecating you. So saying, he began to sob inconsolably. Then the blessed Lord consoled him. My dear Narada, forget the past. All that happened was the will of God Almighty, whose actions are indeed inscrutable. Now you can save yourself by seeking Lord Siva's refuge, who is the Lord of all creation. Although as Rudra he destroys the wicked, he it is that is responsible for the recreation of the universe at the time of Pralaya, final cataclysm. In his form of Sada Siva, the eternal Lord of compassion, mercy, and grace. Even the Lord Creator, Brahma, and his consort, and myself and goddess Lakshmi, ever pray to him. I need not tell you that I too, along with Brahma and Indra, sometimes court trouble, deluded by the mysterious Maya of Lord Siva. None can trespass his dictates. Oh, be careful and attentive. Always remain in the habit of hearing the soulful stories of Siva, and in visiting his temples and praying to him in your mind. Accordingly, Narada began visiting the pilgrim centers consecrated to Lord Siva. At Varanasi, he anointed his image in the form of Visvesvara with the sacred Ganga waters, worshipped his consort Annapurna Devi, and offered prayers to Kala Bhairava. At Sri Sailam, he prayed to the divine couple's incarnations as Lord Mallikarjuna and goddess Brahmaramba, and at Kalahasti as Lord Kalahastisvara and Jnana Prasanambika. He worshipped the Lord's other incarnations as Natarajaswami at Chidambaram and as Brihadisvara at Tanjavur, Again, he paid his worshipful tribute to and sought the forgiveness of the godly couple in the form of Sundarasvara and Meenakshi at Madura, and of Ramalingasvara and Parvata Vardhani at Ramasvaram. At each and every temple, he offered his prayers. He vowed that he would never again be guilty of the sort of sacrilege he committed against Lord Vishnu. Convinced that the sage was genuinely repentant, Lord Siva forgave him his sins. Verily, Siva and Vishnu alone are so magnanimous as to pardon even the people who offend them. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spiritual wisdom. Until next time, stay blessed.